Hello, today I'm gonna be ranking the bosses in Mega Man Zero from easiest to hardest. I did a poll for boss rankings a while ago, and saying Mega Man Zero 1 is a massive understatement. It decimated the poll. With that said, here are the rules. My footage will not be following these rules though, as combat is slow with these rules. I want to get cool looking footage, and I wanted to actually have fun while getting it. I'll be doing this on hard mode. This means that weapons cannot level up or be charged, except for the shield boomerang, elemental chips can't be used, and cyber elves can't be used. This keeps everything the same for every boss. I will be using only the Buster and Saber. These are the two weapons you get in the intro stage, so they will be the only ones used, as the Triple Rod and Shield Boomerang are unlocked later in the game. I will be ranking every boss with their EX skills in mind. This not only covers their entire moveset, but it also affects some bosses a lot. Most are harder, but some are just slightly easier for some reason. With that said, let's rank the bosses from Mega Man Zero. Number 16, Golem. The Golem has only one attack, with two different variations. Only the upper half of the Golem is vulnerable. The Golem will shoot a laser. It either starts from the ground or the wall. If the laser starts from the ground, the laser will cover the entire ground, and some of the left wall. Hug the top of the wall to dodge it. If it starts from the wall, the laser will cover the wall in the ceiling, so go on the ground to dodge it. After this, 5 blocks summon in a random variation, but 3 of them will always be on the floor initially. Get close to the Golem to dodge those. Then, the Golem crashes through the blocks, destroying them. Like the other variant, hug the left wall. After 30 seconds, you are given the Z-Saber, which instantly kills the Golem. You can beat it with just a Buster, so it's not required. This boss explains itself why it's here. It's predictable, slow, and gets one-shot by the Saber. Number 15, Asura Basura. When he's standing still, he can block Buster shots, but he can't block them fast enough to block all the shots. So if you spam enough, you will do damage. Asura will jump and attack with his sword. He can do this up to 3 times, and he will occasionally do a high jump. Stay away from Asura when he does this. Asura will spin around like a top. His entire body is invincible, other than his head. If his head gets hit, the attack stops. Asura will throw his 3 swords in a pattern. He throws one near the ground first, then one above your head, and the last one at a medium height, low enough to where you need to dash. Just stay away or hug the wall. His EX skill, Hell Juggler, will have him throw his swords in different arcs, and they come back to him like boomerangs. They have a short range though, so just stay away. This arena is way too big for the fight to be fair, as you cheese most attacks by staying away, and you can cheese him with Saber Spam, as he doesn't move too often. Number 14, Blizzack Staggroff. Whenever Blizzack jumps away or to you, he may throw Snowball at you, which form into spikes when they hit the floor. These aren't insta-killing, so they aren't that big of a deal, and they can be easily broken with normal attacks. You will get frozen if they hit you though, so be careful. Blizzack will fire 4 horns at you. These can go pretty far, but there's a blind spot directly in front of him, so use that to your advantage, if possible. Blizzack will use his arm to create icy wind, and not even dashing is fast enough to stop being blown back. If you stay in it long enough, you will be a lot slower and have shorter jumps for some time, so get on a wall as fast as you can. His EX skill, Double Blizzard, is the same as the previous attack, but instead of trying to slow you down, it conjures icicles that will try to damage you. Again, get to a wall as fast as possible. Blizzack is incredibly easy, as he stays still a lot, you can do massive damage, his jumps are predictable, and the EX skill is the only issue. Number 13, Aztec Falcon. This fight has a timer of 75 seconds. If the timer runs out, you lose. Aztec Falcon will constantly dash. It's not that big of an issue, as your movement is better than his. Aztec Falcon will use his arm to create a magnet that pulls you towards it. If you get hit, you are grabbed and sent towards a wall. Running isn't fast enough, but dashing will let you escape it easily. If Aztec Falcon is on the ground, he will fire 4 arrows at alternating heights. The pattern depends on what height you're at. If you're in the air, it's high, low, and vice versa for if you're on the ground. Whenever he shoots low, hug the wall or dash under the arrow. Whenever he shoots high, hug the wall or get some damage in. Regardless of how you do it, it's easy to dodge. If Aztec Falcon clings to a wall, he can do one of 2 things. The first thing he can do is shoot 3 arrows at once. All you need to do is be on the opposite wall he's on. The other thing is his EX skill, Lightning Fall. He will fall to the center of the arena and send 4 balls of electricity across the terrain, 2 on each side. When he falls, either go to a wall or stay on the ground, and jump over the balls as soon as they appear. Either way, it's not that bad. Aztec Falcon can be a roadblock if it's your first time playing the game, but it should be super easy every other time. Number 12, Maha Ganeshariff. If you're too close to Maha Ganeshariff, he'll do an arm barrage at a fast pace. It blocks most attacks, but a buster shot could be snuck in if you use it at the peak of your jump. Maha Ganeshariff will transform into a sphere and charges at you, launching bombs occasionally. This can be annoying to dodge, but the best thing to do is stay at a certain distance away from him, and all you should need to do is jump. Maha Ganeshariff will transform into a sphere, while he grapples his trunk to the ceiling and tries to swing at you. You can either break it with a saber slash, which completely stops him, or wait for it to break on its own, and dash under him when it breaks. His EX skill, Tusk Boomerang, will have him fling a tusk at you, and they come back to him like boomerangs, and he can throw up to 2 of them. When he throws them initially, their height is high enough to where you can ignore them, but when they come back, you do have to jump over them. This isn't difficult, regardless if there's 1 or 2, but do be careful. You can also just stay away from them entirely, since they have short range. Maha Ganeshariff can be annoying, as under these rules, he takes forever, but he's very easy, as he's slow, allowing you to get many hits in without much effort. Number 11, Orotic. There is a core in its center, which is the only way to damage the boss. It's only vulnerable when it's glowing turquoise. Orotic's main attack will have it choose 2 of its 8 heads. Depending on the color of the heads, it does different attacks. The pattern is orange, red, green, blue. The orange heads will do some bites, the red heads breathe a short flame, the green heads shoot 3 electric balls, all of them go in downward angles in some form, and the blue ones will breathe ice, which freezes you if it touches you. All of these can be dodged by moving and staying away. If you break a head, it will be broken until its neck reaches to the top of the rotation, where it's replaced. Its EX skill, Core Vulcan, will have Orotic shoot many bullets from its core. The bullets track your position, but they don't home. They're nothing to worry about, just make sure you have room to work with, and because it's vulnerable, you have some time to get hits in. Orotic is only this high up just because of how long this fight takes. The EX skill being so easy actually works against it on the list, which is pretty funny for a boss ranking. Number 10, Anubis Necromancess III. Anubis has a cane he will constantly put in front of him. This cane blocks buster shots, making you have to get close when it's up. Anubis will throw his cane at you, the cane going to your current position. He then leaves the screen, shows up on the other side, and the cane comes back to him. It's pretty easy to dodge. Bait out the cane initially, and you get free damage. Anubis will summon Pantheon zombies. He summons 1 or 2 at a time, and up to 4 can be on screen at once. The zombies are slow, but if you touch them, you will be grabbed and need to mash to escape it. You can take them out by either damaging the zombies themselves, or damaging Anubis Necromancess enough. When you do enough damage to him, he crumbles into the sand, becoming invincible for the duration of it. The Pantheon zombies will also crumble. Pairs of sand walls with spikes on top will then summon, or getting crushed, but touching the spikes, while they will still hurt, don't instantly kill you. This attack can be used up to 4 times in a row, so it can last for a bit. Since you can do wall jumps, all you need to do is jump high enough for Zero's head to be on the same height level as the spikes, and then do another jump over them. His final attack, which is the EX skill, Dead Cane, will have Anubis throw his cane, but it will travel along the ground until it hits the other side of the screen, and then it comes back to him. Simply jump over it, and then when the cane comes back, either jump over it as soon as it starts coming back to him, or stay under Anubis, as the cane won't go under him. Anubis Necromancess isn't too bad. The only real issue is the cane making the fight last longer, but that's it. Number 9, Herculious Anchus. Herculious will charge at you, tracking your position. This is very easy to dodge. All you need to do is move away. Herculious will launch 2 of his arms at you, creating an electric fence between them. It's easy to see where the arms will go, so you can move away from there, but if you get trapped, just take the hit. Herculious will fire 3 energy orbs from his horn. When he loses more health, he fires more orbs, eventually firing 1 big orb that homes in on you. Just hug the wall or switch sides. His EX skill, All Range Attack, has him go to the center of the screen, stretch his arms, and fire 4 bullets at your position. This attack is super easy to dodge. Just move away and do it at a slow speed if necessary. Herculious Anchus suffers from the same issue Blizzack and Asura do. They stay still too often, and when they do, you have easy windows for massive damage. It's nowhere near as bad for him as it is for those two, but it's still there. Number 8, Pantheon Core. This fight has a timer of less than 3 minutes. If you can't beat it in that time, you lose. The core releases 2 small flames, followed by a large flame. Every third time it does that, the flame is even longer, covering about 4 pistons. If you only have 4 pistons of length to work with, hug the wall, but if you have more, stay to the left of the arena. The Pantheon Core will lift one of the 6 pistons on the floor, revealing spikes on the ceiling at the piston's position. The spikes are instant death, of course, so make sure you move away. The speed and the amount of pistons increases as you damage it, going up to 5 pistons in a row, and it can raise several pistons at once. Its final attack, and most dangerous if you don't take it out quickly, is its EX skill, Brain Pressure. All spikes on the ceiling will be opened, 1 or 2 pistons, depending on your position, and the Pantheon Core will slowly move forward while using its flamethrower. This attack will stop being used once you have 4 pistons of length left, and while it isn't dangerous by itself, it makes every other attack scarier, especially the previous one. The Pantheon Core could be scary if you aren't ready for it due to spikes, which is why it's this high, but it's easy regardless. Number 7, Sage Harpuia. Harpuia spends most of his time in the air whenever he can. Harpuia will dash upwards and send a sonic boom towards your location. This isn't an issue as long as you have the space to dodge it, but if you don't, you will get hit. Harpuia will levitate and fire homing projectiles. Up to 3 can be on screen, but they disappear if they are kept there long enough. The projectiles will move in a stop and start pattern, and whenever it stops, it will be invincible for a bit before starting again. Destroy these projectiles before they're a problem, or hit Harpuia consistently so he never does it. Harpuia will fall across the screen, attempting to grab you. It's nothing to worry about, but getting grabbed will cause you to be dragged upwards, which does heavy damage. If Harpuia is hit, he falls to the ground, and he does his triple slash. The first and last slash launch a wave in front of him, while the second one launches diagonally upward. Like the sonic boom, it's nothing to worry about if you have a lot of room, but if you don't, it can be impossible without jumping over Harpuia. If you do jump over Harpuia though, he's vulnerable for some time, so get damage in if you can. This attack will always be followed by a sonic boom. His EX skill, Thunder Prison, will have Harpuia be invincible for the duration and create 2 thunder walls near the sides of the screen. A cyclone then summons, which tries to push you towards the thunder walls. When you get pushed by the cyclone, dash in the opposite direction it's going as soon as possible. Under these rules, Harpuia can actually put up a fight, but he's still vulnerable to only doing a few attacks, because he gets staggered when hit, which can let you loop certain patterns. Number 6, Fairy Leviathan. This fight has water, which makes your jumps higher, and spikes, which insta-kill. Leviathan will swim in the water, going to the top of it. Ice spikes will appear where she swims, and after some time, they are sent down. The ice spikes can be broken in a single slash, so they're easy to deal with. Leviathan fires an ice rain at your position. All you have to do is move away. Leviathan will fire spearheads from her spear, and they home in on you to an extent. You can dodge them easily by moving away or going behind her. Leviathan's EX skill, Spirit of the Ocean, will have her be invincible for its duration. An ice dragon is summoned, and it tracks you until it's destroyed. It only takes 3 slashes to destroy it, so it won't even be up for too long. Leviathan with this alone wouldn't be too bad, but something you can do in her first fight is go to the right of the arena, wait for her to get to you, and whenever she's in range, spam the first slash of your saber or the first stab of your triple rod, incinerates her health bar. In the rematch, this isn't as bad, but she can still take massive damage, just it's a little riskier. Her second fight is the reason why she isn't lower than Harpuia. Number 5, Rainbow Devil. Rainbow Devil will quickly approach in a slime-like form. If it touches you, you get grabbed and dealt continuous damage, and you have to mash to escape. all you need to do is hug the wall. Rainbow Devil will send tiny droplets across the arena, which will go back to it. Hug the highest part of the wall. It almost never reaches there. The Rainbow Devil transforms into a head and bounces around the room. If you hit the head, it splits into two, and if you hit the Pantheon's head, it splits into another two, so up to 4 parts. They eventually stop bouncing though, and the other 3 go back to the one with the Pantheon in it. Keep hitting the Pantheon and hugging the wall, but you may have to go down the wall. Its EX skill, Nightmare Blow, will have the Rainbow Devil do a punch. If you stay near the walls, you don't have to worry about it, but it hits very hard, so stay away. Rainbow Devil is pretty easy in this game. As some moves can be dodged by camping near the walls, but since it's almost always moving, and some moves can cover a lot of area, you can get hit if you aren't careful. Number 4, Hidden Phantom. If you are close to Phantom, he will do a quick slash towards you. Prevent this from happening by not getting close to him unless he's doing something else. Phantom will make 4 copies of himself. If you hit a clone, Phantom will throw a sword from above. If you hit the real Phantom, he will clone himself until you hit a fake or he stops. He throws a shuriken at your position, which splits into 4 kunais, which go in diagonal directions. What I do is kill a fake to end the attack early, but if he does throw the shuriken, all you need to do is dash. Phantom throws a big shuriken, and when it comes back to him, he rides on it for a bit, going from side to side in the process. Whenever you and Phantom are at the same spot horizontally, he throws a kunai from above. He can throw up to 3 before trying to stab you from the top of the screen. If you can get behind him, you get a bunch of time to wail on Phantom, getting up to 4 hits before he rides the shuriken. His EX skill, Moonless Hazy Dance, will have the screen go black, and he disappears into the darkness. He will occasionally fire 3 kunai at your position, and he keeps doing this until he gets hit. Hit Phantom by attacking the location where the kunais came from. After 4 hits, the attack ends. In the rematch, Phantom will explode after he dies, the explosion going in several directions. This does do damage, but all you need to do is move away. Phantom puts up a better fight than Harpuia and Leviathan, but since you have so many windows to do big damage, he goes down fast. Number 3, Hanumachine. Hanumachine will summon tiny versions of himself. They can be killed easily by buster shots, but if they grab you, they cling onto you until they self-destruct. Hanumachine will spin in the air and send free fireballs across the room. There are big gaps in distance between them, so they're easy to dodge. Hanumachine will transform into a giant fireball bouncing across the room. He bounces around at a medium rate, so dodging it isn't too hard, but it can catch you off guard. Hanumachine's EX skill, Whirling Staff Monkey Dance, will have him charge up, extend his staff, and then do a massive strike. The attack is very obvious visually, so depending on your position, either move away or go to the top of the nearest wall. Hanumachine's attacks aren't crazy on their own, but his quick speed and unpredictable movement can catch you off guard if you aren't careful. Number 2, fighting Fefnir. Fefnir's arena in the first fight is pretty unique, having several dips and hills. In the rematch, it's just flat. Fefnir's main attack is the charge, which makes him stronger, although he only keeps it for 1 attack. When he does, another attack. Fefnir can shoot fireballs either horizontally, diagonally downward, or downward. The normal fireballs can shoot up to 3, 1 at a time, or in a burst, but the charged version will shoot just 1 fireball. If he shoots downward, he jumps to your location. To dodge this, immediately dash to the direction he jumped from. Both versions are easy to dodge, and you can use the terrain to make it easier. Fefnir will jump into the air and punch the ground to create a wave. Both waves have short range and can be jumped over, but the charged version is double the height, so keep that in mind. Fefnir will do a short dash towards you. If you get grabbed, you are sent to the top of the screen, and if he's holding the charge, he slams you into the ground for double damage, up to half a health bar. You can dodge it easily, but it can be sudden, so make sure you dodge quickly. When he uses his EX skill, Meteor Rain, he is invincible for its duration. He fires 12 shots upward, and they rain down in an outward fashion, starting near him and ending farther away from him. Stay away during the attack, or jump between the shots if you have the skill to. Fefnir isn't horrible, but he can be very scary, especially when charged. Be careful if you get close, but thankfully, you can wail on him if you exploit the long times he can be vulnerable for, and neither of the arenas are bad to deal with. Number 1, Copy X. Copy X has 4 separate elemental forms he can use: Normal, Ice, Fire, and Thunder. This changes his elemental strengths and weaknesses, but with the rule set, it has no effect. Like Fefnir, Copy X can charge. Unlike Fefnir, he loses the charge if he gets hit. When Copy X is in his normal form, he will shoot free shots on the ground and diagonally on the ground. When he's charged, he shoots a plasma shot at the same angles, but they do more damage. Both versions are pretty simple: jump over them or move away. In his ice form, he fires a chunk of ice that splits into 5 pieces when it hits a surface. When he's charged, he releases an ice stream. The normal version can be dodged easily by moving a bit away from them, but it has to be on the surface where it was shot. To dodge the stream, go to the nearest wall immediately. In his Thunder form, he fires a homing electric orb. When he's charged, he creates 6 waves of electricity on the floor, free on both sides. For the orbs, they're slow, so just move away from them. For the waves, either hit him or go to the walls. In his Fire form, he launches a flame stream, which arcs slightly across the room. When he's charged, a giant fireball is shot that spreads many flames on the ground, 4 on either side. For the stream, either move close or far away from him to make it miss. For the flame shots, move away if you have the room, or go between the gaps in the flames. This sounds like a lot, but all you need to do is keep hitting him, and he should never use the charge moves, because Copy X will keep losing the charge. Copy X does a sliding kick along the floor. Either jump over him, jump to a wall, or move away. Copy X will use the Nova Strike, dashing forward, on the ground, or air. The move itself has homing properties, but only if you move upward. This attack does hit hard, but it can be stopped by hitting him, or you can bait him to be higher than your dashing height and just dash under him. Moving away works, but the other methods are easier. His EX skill, Raging EX Charge, envelop himself in a blue aura and be invincible for its duration. He restores a full bar of health. This is really annoying, especially with the rule set. However, it's only used on certain health values, so if you can hit him just before he uses it, or damage him enough to skip those values, he won't use it, as he only tries it once. The first phase, while still difficult, can be made a lot easier, since if you keep hitting him, he should never be able to charge, removing half of his moveset and constantly knocking him back. If you didn't struggle enough though, the second phase is where all hell breaks loose. The sides of the floor are destroyed, making a bottomless pit. 2 pillars spawn to replace the walls. They move up and down, and have spikes at their top, but these don't insta-kill. Copy X will fire many light beams, based on your position. What I do is bait them from the pillars, making the rest miss completely. Copy X will fire several rains at you. They go downward and track your position, with it changing every other rain, assuming you move. If you get caught, you have to mash to escape. This attack is annoying, as if you get caught once, it's likely you'll get caught right after you escape, but since it doesn't do damage, it's just be super inconvenient if he uses something else. If you're above the pits though, good luck. Copy X will hit the ground with a beam. Before the ground is set on fire. It's not hard to dodge, but the pillars can make the difference between getting hit or not, because you don't want to get hit, as it does half of your health bar. His EX skill, Giga Punisher, makes the pillars disappear from their usual spots. They instead will slam down on the ground in a pattern. During this, he also uses the rains. Make sure to not get caught by the rains, as it'll be a guaranteed hit very often, and dash under the pillars whenever they're coming your way. It's harder than it sounds, but can be easy with enough practice. At half health, his attacks become faster. Copy X is no question the hardest boss in the game. After enough suffering, try hard enough though, and you got it. I would like to thank you for watching the video. Here's the list as always. I have a Q&A in my description, in my pinned comment. Please go check it out, as it's a video I want to work on for this year. I'll see you next month with the Model A video, but do check out my streams on Sundays bi-weekly if you want to see me play games that aren't Mega Man. See you next month, and I hope you all have a good day.